identifiable recipients. Turns out the victims were fake. And the accounts? All traced back to Liv. Federal inquiries followed. Banks froze accounts. One of her former associates stepped forward, claiming Liv coached them to pose upset in videos and cry on cue during live streams to boost donations. The once fiery activist who screamed accountability was now facing it head-on. Pam didn't say a word. She declined interviews, ignored calls from major outlets, and simply continued her quiet work with the Clarity Foundation. She sipped coffee while headlines like "Justice Without Noise" and "Pam Bondi's Silence Speaks Louder Than Protest" spread across the web. Meanwhile, Liv's world crumbled. Her local chapter of United Progress shut down overnight. Their official statement read, "We regret our previous affiliations and do not condone unethical activism." Volunteers deleted their bios. Social accounts vanished. But the knockout blow came from another direction entirely. A woman named Erin McClure, a teacher from Indiana, filed a civil lawsuit against Liv, alleging harassment, defamation, and emotional damages after a staged altercation last year. Her lawyer claimed Liv had engineered a situation for clout and left Erin to deal with threats, doxing, and a mental health spiral. "This is a pattern," Erin said in her press conference, and Pam wasn't the first. Still, Pam remained silent. Until one night, alone in her apartment, her phone buzzed with a restricted message notification. She opened it to see a single sentence on a black background. "You think you've won, but it's not over." Pam read it twice. Her hands didn't shake. She didn't flinch. She walked to the window, looked out at the calm evening street below and whispered, "I don't need to win. I just need the truth to keep coming." Outside her building, a car idled with headlights dimmed, watching, waiting. Pam reached for her phone again, this time to call someone. Not the police, her lawyer. The hum of conversation floated through the cafe, mingling with the hiss of steamed milk and the soft clink of porcelain cups. It was the same place, the same sunlit window seat, and the same drink, caramel oat milk latte, extra light foam. But this time, Pam Bondi wasn't flinching when people glanced her way. They didn't glare. They smiled. A young woman behind the counter offered a shy wave. "Glad to see you back, Miss Bondi." Pam nodded warmly, her lips tugging into a quiet smile. No entourage, no press, no phone recording from the table. Just her and a small leather notebook, pages filled with notes and quiet reflections. She took a sip. The flavor hadn't changed, but something in the air had. Moments later, Nate slid into the chair across from her, slightly out of breath. "Sorry I'm late. Some guy at the crosswalk asked if I was that guy from the video." He laughed, shaking his head. Pam raised an eyebrow, smirking. "You sign any autographs?" "Thought about it," Nate teased, then leaned forward. "You really doing okay?" Pam nodded, slowly closing her notebook. "Better than okay. I'm free." The sunlight washed over her face as she looked out the window. A kid tugged at his dad's sleeve, pointing in her direction. The dad nodded respectfully. No shouts, no threats, just quiet recognition. "This wasn't about politics," she said calmly. "It was about how we treat each other when the cameras are rolling and when they're not." Nate leaned back, arms crossed. "Still want to expose people?" Pam chuckled softly. "Only if they deserve it." They clinked coffee cups like glasses of champagne. Then Pam's phone buzzed. She glanced down, eyes narrowing slightly as she read the headline. "Breaking Liv Callahan, arrested for wire fraud in GoFundMe. Scheme investigation." She tapped the link, watching the video autoplay, a grainy clip of Liv being led into a courthouse in handcuffs, hair messy, face hidden behind oversized sunglasses. The caption read, "Former activist accused of defrauding donors out of $92,000. Nate whistled. "Well, that took a turn." Pam didn't gloat. She didn't need to. She took a long, slow sip of her coffee, savoring it. Then, without looking up, she murmured, "Some people expose themselves just fine." Outside the cafe, someone snapped a photo of Pam sipping her latte. Peaceful, composed, victorious. She posts a follow-up saying Nate's video is heavily edited, accuses him of being a Bondi bootlicker, and warns people not to believe alt-right propaganda. But it's too late. Truth this time has receipts. As Nate scrolls through replies, one message jumps out. "This woman's pulled this stunt before. Want proof?" Attached is a link. He clicks. And what loads next changes everything. The same crowd that cheered Liv hours ago, now wants answers. Nate's unfiltered footage is spreading fast, picked up by mid-sized commentary channels, reposted on Reddit, clipped into reactions on TikTok. What started as a trickle of questions becomes a flood of doubt. And Pam, she says nothing. No tweets, no press release, not even a statement. Her silence, ironically, speaks louder than Liv's outrage. Comment sections flip tone in real time. Pam could have gone off, and she didn't. She just stood there. That woman straight up shoved her. Grace under pressure. Respect, she's not the problem. Liv is, and then someone finds it. A Twitter user links an old article. Liv, full name Olivia Cardenas, identified as a community activist. The headline? School board protest disrupted by heated confrontation. The photo shows Liv screaming in a mother's face, surrounded by police. Nate retweets it with one line. Pattern of behavior? Liv tries to hold her ground. She goes live on Instagram, eyes wide, pacing her bedroom. This is targeted, she says. That clip is taken out of context. That guy edited it. She says Nate's video is right-wing media bait, claims Pam is a professional victim, accuses the crowd of being paid actors. But the more she talks, the worse it sounds. People start comparing the clips side by side. It's clear Nate didn't edit anything. Her story keeps shifting, and the internet notices. Someone comments, "You're not being canceled, you're being exposed." Her own followers begin asking tough questions. Wait, why did you shove her? Didn't you say you were just walking by? Why is everyone else's footage lining up, except yours? Then, another twist. A local news page posts a new angle. A clean, third-person video taken from the cafe's patio camera. No edits, no cuts, no shaky hands. It shows Liv walking up, whispering the insult, and giving Pam a hard shove before stepping back and starting her monologue to the phone. The moment is crystal clear. No bias, no voiceover, just truth. That video explodes within minutes, reaching a city council member who reposts it with a single caption. Conduct like this has consequences. And someone tags Nate below. You just started something bigger. The internet doesn't forget, and now it's doing what it does best. Within hours, users start digging. Threads pop up under the hashtag #exposing Liv, and what they find is enough to make headlines on its own. One user shares an old live stream from last year. Liv screaming outside a school board meeting, aggressively cornering a woman who had just spoken during public comment. The caption reads, "Different day, same tactics." Another clip shows Liv at a protest outside a university, yelling over a speaker with a bullhorn, calling him a fascist while police separate her from the crowd. That speaker? A decorated veteran. Comments flood in. Didn't she say this was her first time confronting someone? She's been pulling this stunt for months. She's not an activist. She's a walking lawsuit. The receipts pile up quickly. Public records reveal Liv had a temporary restraining order filed against her last spring for stalking a fellow activist who tried to distance themselves from her tactics. A city blog confirms she was banned from 2 local protests for escalating tensions and disrupting event permits. It's no longer just about Pam. Now it's a pattern, a disturbing, well-documented pattern. Nate, watching all this unfold, refreshes his inbox and freezes. A new message. No name. No profile picture. Just one line. She's being protected. Want proof? Attached is a zip file. No explanation.